I'm just going to go stay in Discord on my phone or whatever, and Salty, you can give control of my character sheet to Treg. Right now I look pretty solid, but just in case.
Okay. Can do that as well, but we will see when that comes up.
Yeah,
Hopefully
we'll cross
it
that bridge when we get there. Yeah. Hopefully I'm
okay.
good.
We should be good.
But all right. So who? I don't know if the notes were up or it's been quite a while. Does anyone want to just quickly rehash what happened last time to our spoopy adventurers?
Lobsters attacked the boat. We have one
Daymore
lobster
tried to sleep.
It's very
Thaymor
important.
failed at sleeping.
We now have
I
a
know
lot
there's
Daymore
some
is
crucial
now trying to sleep
details
again.
between those two events, but
Daymore
Let's
rolled
see.
2 natural 20s on 2 crossbow bolts, so
We are now we have the biggest fan of a Dracolich that now knows who we are. So that's cool.
Let's see. We started by going through the captain's belongings. Barnacle found a book that he couldn't read and handed it to Absinthoss. We kind of went over the ship. Thaymor went to go sleep. Barnacle and Alton got the ship pointing in the right direction. And as they were about 4 hours into said direction, crabs attacked. And we killed one, chased off the others, and then the Dracolich showed up and said, "I want what's mine." And we just escaped the clouds that were surrounding Deadman's Isle.
yeah, I think you forgot how we killed that one.
There was a hunter's trap involved. There was
To
a
the
bear
sides.
trap.
Yeah.
Yeah, bear trap did some number on that one, and then the other two swam away when it got killed because the Dracolich was mad that we killed one of its minions, apparently.
And then there was a completely underwhelming dust devil.
It tried.
It tried.
The effort was what mattered. And the
Uh-huh.
bears were the MVPs again.
Yes. So by extension, I was the MVP, kinda.
Sure.
Yeah. Damn right.
Marani's myriad minions. Permanent MVPs.
Marani's menagerie.
Well, Marani and company.
Now she just needs to learn how to conjure ducks.
So yeah, you guys had, and to even kind of go back a little bit to give a little more context to everything that happened, just to refresh a bit more, because you started off that entire thing when you had returned back to Galeran and found that the ship, the Widow's Kiss, had returned mysteriously after departing, full of like beaten up, bloodstains, that sort of thing. With the guards kind of frantically talking about the passenger on board shouting and racing down below. And when you all had investigated further, after finding the ship had teleported, it was the former Captain Zerai who had been taken over by the Dracolich. And you found his journal mentioning the whole expedition to Deadman's Isle and how things had changed and they were attacked. As well as the events of after, where you found the fog trying to pull you in, attacked by the crab-like creatures that tried to bring your ship to a halt, and in killing and shooing many of the other one away, the Dracolich finally just had enough and came after you himself. You managed to get out of his relative area for the time being, and you are now drifting. With still, sails are still intact. Maybe a little damage here and there from the sudden bursts of wind and some of the other damages, as well as the ship's kind of creaking and groaning and still holding mostly intact. I know, I believe someone, I think it was Alton, who had looked through the ship or was asking about looking through the ship for holes, and looking to patch those up. But as you kind of start drifting back towards the coastline, you start seeing a faint outline of the coast of Galeran showing back up on the horizon. Though far off in the distance, with nighttime falling upon you, you do start seeing, the torches, the lights of the city coming alive in the distance. And as the normal winds kind of pick up as you get farther and farther away from Deadman's Isle, farther away from you notice that the air starts growing warmer again. The winds are no longer erratic. You no longer feel this just overwhelming sense of dread. And for the 2 characters, I believe, who were affected by fear, that starts to finally wear off as you, again, get farther away from the Draco Lich. Thamor is still asleep. I don't know when he plans to get up, but the rest of you on deck, as you are kind of setting up ship and performing any maintenance, as it were, I believe, because like I said, I believe Alton was looking and found a few small holes. Nothing that would be too difficult to patch with some, just debris and different scrap on board. But as you were just kind of sitting there in the silence of the night, as the waves crash around you, you hear flapping, but not the flapping of undead wings, but rather the flapping wings of a very large and unusually colored bird.
Ooh,
Feitoru!
Feitoru's back.
Yes, Feitoru is back, and he soars above the ship, circles back around, and perches right at the near the helm, near the wheel, kind of on that mast, not mast, the balcony, I guess, between where the mast's overlooking the rest of the ship. He lands gently, and you notice he's carrying something in his claw. And as he sets down and opens the claw, a small mouse, also oddly and brightly colored fur, scuttles out from and just kind of perches on the ledge. And after he is sure that the mouse is sitting there, Feitoru immediately just glares at each of you, just kind of swirling his head. Just what the hells did you think you were doing?
Hello, good to see you. Hello would be good.
And
How are you? I'm glad you're not dead.
he has his wing up in front of his beak as if trying to rub a temple that he can no longer rub. And in frustration, just kind of lets out a bit of a shrill squawk. And just goes, I told you all to stay low. Stay low. And instead, he just kind of opens his wings as if to indicate everything around him. You went and awoken the dragon.
Well, it's not like anybody else is out here.
And also, to be fair, it wasn't really our choice. We just were told there was a spooky boat, and we were supposed to go clear it. We didn't expect the boat to teleport.
Spooky boat. And when I tell you to stay low, your first thought is, oh, a spooky boat. That's a good idea.
Well,
You could swear that this bird is just glaring at you.
Niche, is that you?
There is a possibility that someone was in trouble, but apparently those who were previously on the ship have been killed, and what we have encountered was no longer human.
I would only assume so, since the thing you just encountered is that of undeath. Anything that comes into its contact or he kills will ultimately serve him.
Well, I suppose it's a good thing we're not dead then.
Besides, you really think I can maintain a low profile? It's practically an impossible task.
I should have just left you in the basement of the inn and just sealed the door. Up starts the lot of you. And after kind of all this is going on, the little mouse is just kind of sitting on the perch, and you almost swear he's just got a twinkle in his eye, and he's smiling, as much as a mouse can really smile. And just eventually just like elbows Feitoru kind of in the claw a little bit and goes, "Oh, give it a rest."
Oh, you can talk as well.
Are you a friend?
Why, yes. Did Feitoru not introduce me earlier? And he nudges him again. My
You
name's
said it.
Theodoric. I am this delightfully bird brain's brother. He's also the reason that we are in this current predicament.
You never told us you had a brother.
Well, actually, he did. But anyway,
Oh, bygones be bygones, brother. It was a fun game. And besides, maybe I should be the one complaining. I'm a mouse. You get to fly at least. But I would much prefer the use of my hands so that I could slap you properly for that response.
You could scratch him.
You guys sound hangry. You need something to eat?
we've got some crab meat.
I not-
Which reminds me, I need to go get my
Yes, it is stuck on it.
Excuse me, bear.
Oh yeah,
I
they're
get-
still there.
I christen you Crab Killer. Anyway, Feitoru and Theodoric, welcome to our ship. See, now we have a ship, right? Isn't that an improvement? Now we can go places.
If a bird could be flustered, you flustered the bird.
Well, I don't think you like having a ship.
But going places is against staying low. And
Careful, it'll turn into a slug if you're not careful.
Theodoric is all just squeaking into light. Feitoru? You told him your name was Feitoru. Oh. Okay, we lost trans, I guess.
Careful, Barnacle. The bird might turn to a slug if you keep agitating it.
Well, that's not really my problem. I mean, he told us to stay low and gave no other explanation or reasoning why. To a band of adventurers as a part of an adventuring guild. What did he actually expect we were going to do? I mean, I'm all for staying in a tavern, but at the end of the day, I've got to have... Yeah, we got to be moving the feet and staying busy.
I think we lost trans.
Yeah, it was more like an internal conversation, I think, at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Absolots will just shrug and agreeingly shrug. Little.
I mean, maybe you're used to sitting around doing nothing in your, glass towers or wherever you live, but us working people actually have to work to eat.
Us nobles don't necessarily sit around either. Apathy is death, as they say. There's a different type of work. And I'm probably more agitated at Feitoru's insistence in staying low than you. At least you can blend into a crowd. Lucky you.
So could you if you changed your clothes. You don't have to wear all the foppish.
The what?
The foppish.
The foppishry, that's all I've ever called it before. I don't really have any of it myself.
You don't have any fop?
No.
What, you don't dress up? You never been to like a ball or a party?
They don't have those on the sea.
Oh, yeah, they don't have dance parties on the boat. I mean, you got a jig up pretty good when we were drinking in the tavern that night.
Oh, we definitely have parties on the ship. You just wear what you normally wear, show up and drink some grog.
Even when you're on shore, there's no like captain.
I mean,
I guess maybe not a military vessel.
Perhaps the captain went to some fancier stuff. Us, we stayed on the ship. We had a grand old time on the ship, and if it wasn't the ship, we'd go to the local seedy taverns. He didn't dress up for those. In fact, well,
Well, I think I know the only kind of people who dressed up for that.
I mean, there wasn't a lot of dresses at all, but
Anyways, I think we're at least both agreeing that staying low is impractical at best. Looking back over Feitoru and I'm blanking on the other guy's name. I was going to call him Teddy.
Theodoric.
Theodoric. See, Teddy's not far off.
Should we continue without trans, or do you want me just to, like...
I'm here.
Oh,
He's back.
perfect. Sorry.
Sorry.
Okay.
We were just
Okay.
arguing with each other.
I heard.
Anyway. Yeah, so, Theodoric again kind of is just laughing to himself. You told him your name was Feitoru?
Is that not his name?
His name's Thomas. He fancies himself a follower of his leader and took his name. Feitoru.
Oh, that is amazing.
What were you thinking? And the Feitoru, or Thomas as it were, is, well, visibly blushing for a bird.
That was a bad blush.
Is avoiding
Tommy-
eye contact, maybe?
Maybe. Or his feathers around his beak are a little redder than normal.
So Tommy and Teddy, would it be?
Theodoric, as it were. But
Okay.
if you wish to call me Teddy, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna correct you, but I also won't answer. So, yeah, well,
He's trying to find someone to offset his nickname of applesauce.
That's because you guys are not cultured enough to understand the name.
There. Zidane comes up alongside and pats his shoulder.
Anywho, birds and mouse, what can we do for you on this fine evening or night or whatever time it is?
it's evening.
Evening, yes.
And Feitoru, or Thomas, looks to, like, kind of scold you again, and Theodoric just holds up his little paw and just goes, "Now, Thomas, how much have you actually told our friends here?" Kind of shuts his beak a little bit, and
Nothing. He's told
Yeah.
us nothing.
he just kind of looks off to the side a little bit. "You've told them nothing, haven't you? Has he told you nothing?"
Yes.
Well, besides
That's-
that he knew about Phalorn.
Always trying to be a theatrical one, aren't you? I suppose
He was
in
real
a
edgy
sense-
when he showed up too. He was just like circling and circling and circling. We didn't know what the hell was going on. We're like, what is this bird doing?
This one shot an, I don't know, what is an arrow at it? Pointing at Absent.
Edgy,
Well,
edgy.
You
My
do
kind of
have
person.
to, to defend my brother a little bit. It's been a tumultuous few years, and we've had our own experiences dealing with the successors of our leader's legacy, and it's been, well, mostly bad. The arrow's not the worst thing he's had shot at him, mind you, and well, as you can see, we're quite not human anymore either.
What
Kind of
was the
pokes-
worst thing shot at him then?
Pokes back at Barnacle. See? Not the worst.
Well,
thing.
I'd say a fireball, but he might say the lightning bolt. Both were pretty bad.
He built a giant rat fly swatter once.
Hmm. Pray I never have to see that.
It was fascinating, or so I'm told.
More like aqua-based rat electric chair.
What's
You
Unless
could
you
see why
what
you
you
would be
win,
on
but it
guard then,
worked.
wouldn't you?
Rat
Oh.
fryer.
electric chair? Let me write that one down.
I
Sounds like
figured you
fas-
might like that, yeah.
Sounds like a fascinating form of punishment we should explore.
You edgelords
All
deserve
right.
each other.
Strange lot, and I can see why you were a little hesitant to tell him anything. All right, Faithful, I'll give you this one. Just this one. But, now, tell me. Because I like to instruct more than I like to just tell, can anyone here tell me why you decided to, Oh, I don't know. Go after an ancient evil and bring to it the thing it seeks? Anyone?
It certainly
like-
wasn't our intention.
Would
We
you like
came
to
clear-
see? Sorry, Marani. Well, Zidane says a little bit bashful that he cut off Marani. Would you like to see the ritual? The ritual that brought us here? It's down in the hold. Maybe you can make. You
I
can
can
make
probably
more
guess.
sense. I bet you'd be able to make more sense of it than any of us could.
I already told you it's an arcane method of teleportation to a specific location. That, of course, happened to trigger as soon as we all get on the boat, investigating why the boat was damaged. As for this item that he seeks, none of us know what that flying skeleton wants.
Well, I'm fairly certain it was a dragon.
Okay,
There's
I can see
not many things with 4 limbs and 2 wings and speaks.
Are huge.
Hey, we are making some progress.
Oh, don't! Looks over at Barnacle.
What?
Is it still in your bag?
Well, what? Oh, yeah, of course.
Your, in air quotes, friend.
Oh,
And does air
yes,
quotes.
yes, he's definitely in my bag. He wasn't too thrilled when I tried to talk with him before the dragon showed up.
I kind of look back at Thomas and Theodoric. Don't tell me this friend is what the dragon seeks.
You see Feitoru roll his beady bird eyes a bit, and Theodoric just sits there and just clapping his small paws together.
Tell me, if you guys seem to be so knowledgeable, what is it that we have? And why is he so very important?
Well, let me ask you, how much do you know of, well, the undead? Or more accurately...
No,
of a
I
lich?
asked you first. No.
Yeah, for an older gentleman, you sure are anxious like a schoolboy, but okay. The item you hold in your possession is a very special form of phylactery. I.e.,
Oh.
well, houses the soul, or, well, I should say, part of the soul of the creature that came after you.
Really?
It houses the part of the soul that contains the giant spooky skeletal dragon.
Well, yes, part of it. And, well...
What do you mean part of it? You mean there's like more phylacteries out there for it? Do we collect them all and we get like a free meal?
Well, I mean, you could be a free meal if you collect them all and brought them to him, sure. I'm certain the Lich will oblige. No, more so, instead of putting its soul fully into the phylactery, it split its soul and it just co-inhabited with another.
Hold on, this is
Horcruxes,
still
yes, I was thinking the same thing.
this is a little confusing. So that Zidane, what did you call it? A dragon? Does that have a more proper name?
Its name is Faust.
Faust. Okay. So the Faust that we saw that wanted to eat our boat or whatever and blew at us and almost killed us. Its soul is not on its body?
Not in its entirety, no.
So some of it's on its body, some of it's in the bag, and some of it's... Do you know where the rest of its soul is? Or is it, it's somewhere?
It's in 2 pieces. Part of it inhabits the thing that fought you, and the other half is in your in your bag, you say.
So, dumb question. If
I'm
we
used to those.
Fine. If we break the bag or somehow destroy this phylactery, what happens?
Well, you can certainly try, but You will merely
That's-
only destroy part of him. Given enough time, his soul will find its way back to him, reconstitute, and he will simply create another.
We can't destroy part of his soul. Absalom's just like looking like very confused, trying to like formulate an idea. So just
I would be
keep
against
it?
destroying it.
I think so. At this time.
Father Riel knows whoever is inside this crown.
Wait. So
Yeah,
that's right. There's another person.
So here's a question for you, Feitoru. Oh, sorry, no, Thomas and Theodoric. Was the other passenger in the crown? Was he put there willingly as a jailer, or more as a prisoner?
A prisoner, fortunately.
Ah,
A soul broken, now sharing that with that of a dragon. You see, in a odd swing of things, it's what gives the dragon his more unusual properties. The soul that inhabits that crown was much like yourselves, once. One of the descendants, I should say. And in merging with this soul and, cohabiting or fusing, or however you want to call it, has drained some of the soul's power and personality. Here, and he kind of just scratches his head a little bit. It would be easier if Thomas here had told you anything. But, well, again, you must excuse my brother for being all defensive. It is a tumultuous time to live in. Let me start with, well, as close to the beginning as I could tell you. The dragon, or, well, the dragon
Faust.
lich, Faust.
Dracolich. Okay, it's got a name.
Yes, his name is Faust, betrayer of the mortal plane. Well, at least that's what he was called in his time. Before he was called that, he was merely Faust, defender of the first. He was an old dragon, a defender of mortals alike, and shared on many occasions the bounties and richness of the world. But years, ages passed, and he watched the decline and rise and turning of ages and empires, and darkness seeps even to those most noble hearts. And as his mind weakened, his soul corrupted by the ones he swore to protect, they finally came after him, seeking a dragon's treasure that never existed. In his rage and fury at the betrayal, he vowed to consume the world, to put it back to the way he remembered it, in all that fanfare and such. And, well, he had a good run of it. He started laying waste to many small kingdoms, and many teams formed, adventuring parties to put him down. With his mortality now at hand, he sought other methods. Such was the strength of his vengeance, and such was his resolve, and through the creation of fusing his soul, he found a hole between the planes. The one in this crown was one such, bound heavily to the astral plane he was, and using that power, Dragon sought a friend. You see, well, you all are descendants, right, of, as we've told you, of those strongly connected to the planes, bridges to other planes of existence, the Fae, the elementals, the beings of life and death itself to some degree. They are not all perfect. They are not all good or evil, but they exist. There is a balance in this, right? Certainly you all can understand this. But what happens when the seams between these worlds are ripped apart, is there something between those planes? And that is what the dragon found. There is something in the nothingness, but there is nothing there. The void calleth, and the void will fix. And the void will come again. Faust is but a harbinger, and he seeks to bring the void back.
Then how do we resist the void? How do we keep it from coming from between these two realms?
That is what Lorn once sought with his channelings and dealings with the other planes. Ways to strengthen the bridges between the planes, to resist the tears that this harbinger brings. The harbinger is not alone. Many a corrupted mortal, many a corrupted being share the dragon's enthusiasm to reduce the world to ash. All for different gain, perhaps, but the end result is the same. The general tearing of the seams of our world. And you all, well, hopefully you're there to help fix it. Or stop it, or... I'm afraid I don't know. My knowledge exists after the times of troubles, after the great calamity when, as best as I could theorize, is when the hole became big enough.
I would like to roll insight.
Sure.
Want to see how on the level he's being about this. How earnest, hopefully. Insight.
You're gonna find
I
out
am
it's even
so
worse
good.
than what he's telling us.
I'm so good at these. Oh, what? That's with a +0, baby.
He's definitely holding something back. And he's, with the nat 20, you just see he's very, even though he's trying to be like very forthright, he's very nervous about something. He's, and more noticeably, even more so than him, it's, you kind of get your cue more from Thomas or Feitoru, who is now shifting about nervously, kind of looking at him almost as if he's trying to monitor what his brother is saying.
Zidane is going to look between the two and he's considering what they're talking about Thalorn and then remembers something. I would like to just slowly grab the mantle of the warden, the symbol that Zidane now uses as a holy symbol, and use divine sense. I'm looking to see if they have some of that influence that Thalorn had inscribed upon his arms.
Okay.
And it will clicky the button to reflect that, if I can find it. Dooba-dooba-doo.
Let's see.
Is I know that my oath doesn't. I'm pretty sure my oath doesn't affect how divine sense works as far as detecting Fae.
Yeah,
it's just
detect Fae. Though you do feel. I'm just gonna kind of go with a little bit of the thematic here of how this is being used. More so from Feitoru or Thomas. I don't know which one to call him, but we'll go with Feitoru. You feel this. You sense that same kind of bond that you actually share with the wardens, emanating from him, the Order of Life. But from Theodoric, you sense really anything. In fact, you don't really sense any trace of planar magic on him.
So it's Theotoru and... So Theotoru is Thomas,
Yes.
and
The
his
bird.
brother's name...
Theodoric.
Is there any... So, when I see Divine Sense, I'm seeing in my mind like there's a little bit of shift in the color, radiating like an
More so, you
imperceptible
kind of
shift in the color around Zidane as he's reaching out with his senses. So there's no interesting thing that he sees on Theodoric, but as he touches with the divine sense Theotoru, is there a visible like a definite reaction to, at least to Zidane's eyes?
Like, I mean, as the reaction from him, or that you see?
Both.
I mean, like I said, you on Feitoru, Thomas, you see like that kind of same runic, almost glow along his wings. The same kind of markings that seem like the same kind of vine and seed pattern that marks your symbol. But he doesn't seem to notice you doing this.
Okay. I'm gonna keep that to myself for now.
So, what you're saying is, dragon friend over here, and apparently in our bag here, is essentially opening a plane of void, of basically nothingness that will destroy the world if we, this ragtag band of adventurers, won't stop him.
Great. He's a nihilist. I hate those people.
I mean, if you want to put it that way, I suppose in a sense, but with the technicalities are more like he's defiling the planes enough to cause a rift between them, and when there is nothing, well, the something that exists in the nothing is the void, and it will come to fix and take back what should not be. Because what is not of the void will soon become the void. Or, well, such is the belief.
Yeah, that's really confusing, But
He just
I
kinda shrugs.
understand that he's bad news and that we will all die if things get worse, right?
Yes. If
Is
anything...
Is there a way to break this unfortunate bond that has been casted upon our little friend within a bag? Is there any way to reverse what has been tragically put upon him?
I'm afraid that is beyond what I do. I had hoped maybe one of you knew someone in your planar travels that may have better answers than I. I am merely a researcher. You must really know my tie to Lauren and my brother here are much less of the chosen, as it were, but more of the philosophical, the theological, and the just general fascination of one who likes to learn.
I see.
And Thomas kind of, with a kind of almost smugly, what he means to say is he was the librarian. And kind of gives him a kick.
That's an honorable position.
I mean,
you would be one of the
more than
few
I
at the
can
time
do.
who thought.
Well, the preservation of knowledge is pretty important, and considering, I guess, we're facing against In Ancient and Evil, any information is good information. Well, I'm sure we could find someone to kind of like pats on the pack on the outside. Sure, we could find someone to figure out. Maybe we can free that soul from the phylactery.
Or we could talk with the dragon and see if he'll just, stop with this whole world destruction thing.
You call me stupid. That's the stupidest idea I've ever heard from anybody in my entire damn life.
You see Barnacle's face just light up with this big old smile. Oh, so you do care. Wonderful.
There, Absinthoss. Tap, tap.
Feitoru kind of even speaks up too, saying, "For once, I agree with him. The dragons, after this many millennia, is likely lost his mind. I can't even begin to think how you would converse with such a thing."
If lost his mind, you mean incredibly stubborn? Then yes. An incredibly stubborn nihilist. What a bizarre concept. Best we never approach it again until you find the rest of this phylactery business.
Morani, what say you on all this? You've been fairly quiet.
Well, I certainly don't think that the dragon will be open to discussion. He didn't seem much for talking when he was chasing us out of that fog. I don't think that there's going to be any solution that doesn't involve violence in some way. Whether just for defense or if he just annihilates us. We need to be on our toes.
Right. Well, is there anything else you'd like to warn us of? I'm pretty tired. We did just fight some very terrible things, and we still have quite a few hours before we get to port.
He seems a bit almost disappointed, as he just shakes his head slowly. No, suppose not. Just
there's nothing really we can.
hope.
There's nothing really we can do about it at this moment. We're on a ship, and we won't be near something we can do about it until we get closer to other people. You're welcome to join us.
You are not wrong, but I don't think the townsfolk of Galeran want to converse with a bird and a mouse.
Oh, no, I just meant here on the boat.
Well, I do appreciate the offer. We do have some preparations to make as well. There are other forces at work, as we have mentioned, and we must see that we do not fail in our duties. Each are respective, yours included now. I am hopeful that you all will accept your proposals. Be that as it may, we, cannot force it. In the end, it is you who will write your own stories, right? What you choose or do not choose will affect the future to come. This is what I firmly believe.
What say you, Alton? Does sound like a story you'd be wanting to write?
It sounds very dangerous. I can't help
All
but
the
think
good
that.
stories have an element of danger.
Well, I agree. There's definitely a sliding scale, though, and if I am honest, questing to Well, contain or banish a Dracolich. Phew. That sounds grand.
But what a story it would be to tell at the end.
If we live to tell it.
Yes, well,
I imagine there's plenty of other interesting things on the way there.
Yeah, we don't have to start with the Dracolich.
I mean, if we turn the boat around.
Second stupidest idea I've heard.
no, I'm pretty sure the rudder's pretty much shot, so we're
I'm
going in
joking.
this direction.
I know that it's difficult to express certain things, but that was a joke.
Oh, you were. Yeah, you really have to work on those.
You are not alone, though. Among my brother and I, we will, of course, help you as we can. But fear not, there are others. There are still those who seek to maintain the balance of the planes, as well as the denizens of those planes themselves. Several are nearly ageless entities. Just is a matter of finding them and, well, convincing them. Some are more stubborn than others. Fae being one of the ones I call to mind, as they have a few love of tricks, and, well, if you ever go to the domain of Earth, well, the Earth Elementals are not particularly prone to a lot of change, but you will hopefully... There are others, and he kind of, like, looks over at the aisle, the Deadman's aisle behind you. You still have time. Though he has awakened and chased you and given you a scare, it will take many a moon before he is ready to expand his horizons beyond those shores. He is ageless, but he is not all-powerful. But his time will come.
Is that what you think will happen? Is that what you think he will do first? Is try to expand his range of influence around this island, or do you think he might try to attack somewhere or do something else?
The ways of the Draco of Faust are as the books have said. He is a cunning one. And as you saw with the former owner of this ship, I believe, he intends to make minions.
He could
And
have
extend
an army.
his... Yes, in a way, yes.
We should probably inform the merchant fleet sort of guilds and leaderships not to go near here.
Probably should be the first point of order when we get back to port. I agree.
It would be a wise action, yes.
Just, you do know that was a notorious pirate isle. Most normal people would stay away from it anyway.
Well, we still have the body of the dead person, don't we?
And one of the zombies.
I'm sure we can convince the less savory elements to avoid going to that location. Unless the less savory elements are also stupid, nihilist, and suicidal people depressed at their current economic situation.
Regardless of the alignment of those who might attempt to go there, I would think it would be wise to limit any exposure to that area lest they become thralls.
Quite right.
Yep.
Tell me, Thomas and Theodoric, is there a way to identify or oust somebody who might be part of this Faust?
Well, usually they'll be undead.
The ones we... I ask only because the ones we saw on the ship, at least the captain before he attacked us, didn't look that undead. He seemed to have a guise of a normal human before, well, he went crazy and attacked us and raised his undead minions around us. Could obviously this Faust have the power to enthrall without killing?
I am not aware of such an ability that he may have, though it has been quite some time, and he has had more time with the soul and the crown, so I don't know. Though, perhaps any spells of detecting good or evil may help in this regard, or seeking the aid of a paladin or a cleric. I believe one of you is, if Thomas's tales are correct. But
Zidane is looking straight at Theotoru as he's saying paladin.
Yep. The fear... You know of Arestamor already, and there are others like him, of course. Those that seek the same end goal as the dragon, but not necessarily the same path. Those are the ones you really... Those are ones you should look for, too. There are unfortunately a lot of enemies, but there are allies among as well.
Well, we should probably let at least the I don't know, the temples, the priesthoods back in the cities to be on guard. I don't know if we'll need to get the city guard involved with that, but likely they'll need to be checking for that to protect the city, though I don't know if they'd even believe us. Anyway,
I think they'd at least believe that something is raising or corrupting the dead. We have the body of that captain.
Also, I'm pretty sure they saw the ship teleport. Let's not forget that. Or at least teleporting should make some noise, with the lack of the ship being there and all.
Oh no. That reminds me. My new friend is still on the docks.
Oh yeah, didn't you also borrow the sword from a lad?
I did.
Yeah. Yeah, didn't you, Alton?
Yes.
Well, you got another sword, didn't you? You gonna
Yes.
keep them?
I haven't decided yet.
Sounds good. Well, anyhow, I think that's enough philosophy and waxing for today. I got a lobster to chop up.
I think that's still a
Enjoy.
sentient. Okay.
If you want to say it's sentient, it's currently dead. I don't think it qualifies as sentient anymore.
I bet the bear has already gotten its fill off of it.
Well, as long as it doesn't get the best part. Besides, isn't this like a ghost bear? Yeah, that'd be a cool name, ghost bear. It kind of drifts off and starts taking apart the. He doesn't know what it's called. I mean, I do, but Epsilon doesn't. Sentient lobster. Let's go with that.
Well, I hope I can call you friends, but I apologize for having to be the bearer of such calamitous news. But, the world is undergoing tumultuous times, and
In these uncertain times.
Everybody take a shot.
I could cast Mage Hand and slap you, boy.
Oh wait, I still have those magic, like, what were they? Like nuts or beans or something?
yeah.
Oh no.
Doesn't Thamor have them?
I still have a few of my own.
The little boba bubbles or whatever they are.
Yeah.
There is...
I'm gonna kneel next to him and be like, kneel in front of him, kind of like looking at each other, like being level eye to eye with the tarot. We do thank you for all the advice that you've given us. And I know it's troubling and everything, but I would like to say, on behalf for everybody, thank you again. And so, I am quite curious of you two brothers and your knowledge of, Faelorn and everything. But I am curious, what exactly kind of reign do you kind of serve under, or as a friend, a family name, uh, with Faelorn, if you don't mind me asking?
It's really quite simple. We were part of his house. We were part of the House of the Broken Mirror. And what we do now is simply carrying out our friend, former master's last wishes before we called Faust. Well, Faust is called the betrayer of the mortal plane. He is not the only betrayer. As I have been aware, you've met with our friend in some form or fashion, and perhaps gleamed a bit from him, but he too was betrayed. We seek vengeance in our own way, but we also seek to uphold what he had tried to do, prevent another calamity.
So, in one way, which has been following the late Forlorn, have been creating bonds in drastic ways, which ended his life too soon. Is this what you guys have been doing as well? Or are you doing things much more peacefully?
Could you say that again? Sorry, I missed the first part of that.
She's asking, so are you having the same bonds that Faelorn had made, which made his life end too soon, meaning that he tied his ways with demons, but to get to his goal? But she's asking, have they made the bond the same way as he, or are they doing much more things, much more peacefully and negotiating wisely?
Don't be fooled by what the stories tell you. Faelorn did what he had to, but he didn't see too far as to lose himself. He was betrayed by not of those of another plane, but by those he thought he could call a friend once. Those that sought to bring about the calamity again.
And do you know who this friend may be?
He kind of like shuffles around a little bit.
It is
It's
forbidden for us to say, but
he kind of just looks over at Thomas real quick, and he goes,
while I cannot name directly, there are many a house of the kingdom of elves, many a house to defend, many a house to build, many a house to seek. But not all the houses long. And when one house rose, another coveted its spot.
I will keep that in mind. Thank you, both. And she'll give little scritches on Thomas's cheek, and then a pat on Theodore's head.
Theodore, kind of just like goes with it, and when you kind of reach over to pat Thomas's head, he immediately he kind of like accepts it at first and realizes what you're doing, and then pulls his head back, almost like slightly alarmed. Like he's like, wait,
wait a minute.
So you've given us a lot of information, and things to think about, end of the world and all. Outside of finding a way to perhaps separate the soul of our uh, royal friend here in the bag, what else should we be doing?
Staying, and then Theodore just kind of again just lightly punches Thomas. You are adventurers, right?
Yes, I would
Well,
at least be.
here is my commission then. Seek out the planes that you have been assigned to, that you share that bond with. Find ally. There is a war coming. The dragon again is but the harbinger. He will seek to expand, and he will seek to start the process over again. But you are not alone. Material plane is not all there is. And that's why we have you.
Can you see which planes we are connected with?
He kind of shuffles a little bit, I'm not supposed to, but you think they would notice if I used it, brother? And Thomas just kind of scoffs. He reaches like a small little necklace that he's wearing around his mouse neck, and has a small little glass. This is a tiny little glass. He said, and you just hear him say, "It's true, I was the librarian, but I was not without my own tricks." And he holds it up to his eye and kind of just looks over each one of you, except for Thamor, who's not there.
He's taking a well-earned rest.
He looks over each of you. You, Barnacle, was it?
Yes.
Oh, your allies are that of the water plane. And perhaps more, but you share a very strong connection with the sea and all forms of water, really.
See Barnacle get visibly confused.
Didn't you say some water things were trying to kill you?
That was my assumption, yes. Last time I was on the sea, it tried to kill me.
Their loyalty is strong and powerful, but wavers and changes
That
with the cycles of the moon.
No sense. Makes absolutely no sense. But okay. I guess I'll do some water soothing.
Were you about to say reading? That would have been funny, right? That. Oh, I'm sorry.
He looks over at you, Zidane. You are like my brother here. You are one with the order of life, a guardian of the natural things. I'm sure you've been spoken to by one of their many wardens or keepers.
Father Riel.
He nods his head in recognition of the name. Yes. He gets around.
He also hasn't been doing well lately.
I fear it will happen to my brother and I in due turn as well. He looks over at you, Morani. Ah, yes. The ties to the astral plane. A weave of magic that binds all others and overlays it all. And kind of looks over at Alton.
Question?
You are a defender of this plane. And, well, don't let that sound dreary to you, but you are a defender of the material plane. Your allies and hopes and inspiration come from those around you here.
He smiles.
He kind of scans around again at Evian. Ah, the Fae have touched. Well, if they offer to play a game of tag, don't do it. They cheat. And
I told
Thomas
you!
just snorts at
Sorry.
this.
I told you, Evian.
They are... Don't mind their tricks and antics. At heart, they do serve the good of all. They just have a funny way of showing it.
Quite a funny way.
And then he looks over at Absinthos.
You don't even need to mention what plane. I already know. I'm not a fan of it.
Does anyone
Oh,
smell?
go on. So, we are getting outed.
I think I'd like to hear it.
Same.
The infernal plane.
Oh.
The plane that Phalorn himself tried to conquer. I wish you better luck in your endeavor.
Yeah, we can just skip that plane.
Conquerors.
Who are we working with here?
Conquer
Kind of-
seems like a strong word.
He kind of looks over the deck. Did you lose a member? He kind of almost just now realized, I believe there was another, wasn't there?
He's taking a well-earned rest at the moment.
Let's say he's not the most conversational of our group.
Could we
Well-
fetch his halberd? It might actually contain some of his soul.
Another hex blade.
I mean, if you wish to bring me down to him, I can take a quick look and help ascertain his where
Well-
his loyalty will lie.
He is
Sure.
sleeping in my quarters, so we should probably kick him out.
Well, you have quarters assigned now. I didn't realize.
Any other of you qualified to be the captain of this ship?
Well, if you don't mind being handled, I can show you to our sleeping companion.
Oh, I don't mind at all, dearie. It is a perk of his form.
So Abby will offer her hand to Theodore.
He crawls up and just kind of comfortably just kind of flops into it.
All right, and then she'll make her way down.
Barnacle gives a good couple raps on the door of the captain's
Oh, I
cabin.
just went in.
Thamor, do you awaken to this? It has been about, a couple hours, I would imagine, from when you fully crashed.
Ahem.
You're also trying to be woken by others, so.
I don't think that's a good idea. Make sure his halberd isn't. Oh well, that might have.
Thamor, there's someone here who'd like to look at you. Come on, wake up. Prods him with the quarterstaff.
Is this how he treats all of his friends?
No, of course not. Just lazy ones.
He kind of looks over Thamor with the glass as well. The shadows. Your friend has a very arduous road ahead of him. The denizens of the shadow plains are going to be a troublesome lot. Not good, but not inherently evil. They seek nothing but to exist, but their existence... All I can say is, I wish him best of luck. There are many strong denizens of that plane, and if he can convince them, it will be a mighty strong force indeed.
Out of character, he punched one of their head honchos in the face.
Oh, I'm fully aware, but Theodoric doesn't know this.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh.
Well, if they respect strength, that might be a sign that they'll respect him. Right.
It occurs to me no one is driving the ship.
No one's been driving the ship for a while.
You do realize the ship's going to go where it's set to go. I mean,
It
it's not
seems
really how ships work, but okay.
Let's just let Thamor sleep. I'm sure he had a long day, unlike the rest of us.
Just let him know that these are my quarters, and he can find bunk elsewhere once he wakes.
Quite. Well, I'm sure he doesn't... Yeah, I would say good luck trying to move him out of that. He's
Barnacle
pretty
just gives you a
heavy.
wink. He just gives you a wink and smiles.
Okay, I'm sure you find your way. Let's head back up to the front there now, Theodric.
Of course. Kind of back up on the main deck. Thomas is kind of tapping his claw almost impatiently on the rail. Brother, we really must be going. We have other...
Sorry, go ahead.
We have other contacts we must meet. You are aware that things are there is things we must do. And Theodore just kind of gives him almost a brush off, like just wave his hand there, brush him off. Ah, yes. We've got plenty of time.
If you guys were to leave, is there any way for us to contact you in case we need, or just an emergency, or if we needed any more information?
Yeah, maybe. Ooh, I've got an idea. Bring me closer to my dear brother, wouldn't you? And
Sure.
Thomas, stand still.
And Thomas gets this almost horrified look on his face. As you bring him closer, he reaches out and plucks a feather off of Thomas, to which he kind of lets out a shrill cry. And Theodore goes, "Oh, cry, baby. You'll be fine." And he looks down and starts kind of, with his paw, kind of like with a little bit of a claw, starts scratching some symbols into the root of the feather. And then hands it back to you. Here we go. Use this in any of your messaging spells or sending spells or any such communication spell, and it will link you directly to it. One time use, but it will get you through.
Well, thank you. This would do come in handy, and only for an emergency. Thank you again, both of you.
The only one she's gonna get. I'm not ripping another feather off. No.
Are you sure? We might need a backup.
I apologize, Thomas, and she gives him a little stroke on the back of his head.
He seems to enjoy it for a second, then again realizes what you're like treating him like an animal kind of thing, like a bird. He immediately shuffles back and just with an indignant squawk.
All right. Well, I suppose I've tormented my brother more.
Right. So she's gonna offer Thomas his brother and his, I supposedly the claws that he carried before.
Yep. Thomas will just kind of extend out a claw, and Theodoric will just hop into it, and he starts taking off. I wish you.
Sorry, you go.
I was just gonna say, I wish you the best of luck, my friends. I hate to put such burdens upon you all. All seem like such innocent adventures in all of this. There is a tale and a part we must all play.
Understood. And as he starts flying off, Barnacle casts a little gust underneath them, says, "There's a little wind for your wings. It speed you along."
You notice he kind of like it like shakily, kind of almost shakily takes it for a minute because he's just getting a sudden updraft of wind, but then soars with it.
Zidane's gonna call after them with a song and jig. Sorry. Zidane's gonna call after them and say, Daitoru, go see Father Vriel before, well, go see him, fellow warden.
And he kind of turns, while he's flopping his wings mid-flight, kind of stopped a bit, and goes, "Oh, I already have. It was good catching up with an old friend. Well, who do you think has told me to keep an eye on?" And with that, he just turns and flies off.
Well, that was quite an event, don't you think, guys? A lot of information.
Well, I mean, it's not the first time he's showed up out of nowhere and told us we were special people to save the world, and...
Kind of is, though.
Oh, I forget you weren't there. We've met... It was in the basement. You weren't. You were off with Whisper, because that was after the...
I know.
Okay.
Keep going.
Well, I don't know if you remember, but we did have an altercation with that annoying elf guy. And, well...
And the keep.
Yes, and...
A chandelier was involved.
Tamutaru, that's what I'm going to call him, because he doesn't seem to know what his name is. He came to our rescue, sort of. He put up a lot of fog, and we kind of left.
Okay.
Then he kind of told us we were like Faye Lauren, connected.
Ooh.
And told us to stay low, and we immediately ignored him. Where did you go, by the way?
I was going to talk to you all about that. I may have made a deal.
What do you mean, what kind of deal?
It seems that my dalliances through the city wall and discovery of said passages inside city walls put me in a bit of a compromised position. I was abducted.
I was wondering why it took so long.
Yeah, it was abducted by a nice lady.
Inside check. Was she nice?
I don't think Alton knows. I think he rolled for that and failed.
Kidding. Okay, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Anywho, she is a powerful person in the city That's probably all I can tell you, but she did give me a quest related to this. Do you remember back when we all first met after exiting the Adventurers Guild? We had that adventure with the book. And one of the things that we recovered from that adventure was this fragment of this crown. And it turns out that this lady knew that I had it, somehow. And she told me there are 3 other pieces. Once those pieces are reunited, they form a key to a great treasure. And then she basically told me I needed to recover them for her, and she'd killed me.
I understand that feeling.
It's not exactly an even deal, but
Who do you interact with, Applesauce?
I told you that going through that wall would be a bad idea.
Yes. I could feel your "I told you so" coming from the moment I went through that wall.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that if we go on this side quest, as you might call it, there's every opportunity to turn that key and the treasure therein into more power that we might be able to wield against this awful Dracolich.
Or she's an agent of the Dracolich and we just don't know it yet.
Well, that would be surprising, but I suppose it's possible.
Well, how do you know that she's gonna not take it from you once you receive this part of the key? What if she just disposes you?
That's up to myself and hopefully the rest of y'all to help me so that we don't all end up dead.
Well, first things first, are you going to give out the name this lady that you have contacted with?
Am I going to give what?
The name.
I don't know it.
Insight check.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yes, if you're lying about it, it'd be a deception.
Do I get to? Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yep. Oh yeah, you get to make a counter roll. It's just.
Nope. She was just gonna lean over the realm and just basically stare into his eyes. So tell me, Alton, who really is she?
I told you I don't know.
I'm sure you do know.
Well, she gave me a code name. She called herself Whisper.
Whisper.
What was that? I couldn't hear you.
It's all right. You don't need to know it anyway.
He just winks.
I think that there's been a lot of information. I myself am feeling a little bit tired. Perhaps we should set up watches.
More importantly, is anyone able to hold a ship on course? Though, are we heading... I guess I'm confused, Alton. Are we accepting this quest? I mean, I don't want you to die, obviously. And if we are accepting this quest, did she tell you where to start looking?
She did. I assume the ship will go in the direction that we pointed at, as you told me, so I'll just come over and talk to you.
No way, we're veering off course.
I know. Oh well, the bear will get it.
These Fey Bear are lasting a while.
The bears have faded. The bear's long faded.
Oh,
I didn't want to break up the conversation. The bears only last for like, what was it,
an hour?
An hour?
But they really like us, and they got crab meat. Anywho.
Yes, and they are appreciative of it. They're from their astral. They're playing in the astral domain. They're spreading the tales of the mighty crabs they got to eat under Morani's. Yeah. They join the snakes in their chorus of "We love me, Brownie."
That's
we got crab meat.
Nothing. That's awesome.
So what does happen?
We just got stupid zombies.
So, like, if a Fey bear eats like a physical object and the Fey like disappear, like where does the meat go?
Because they were substantial beings and they're being pulled back through a planar dimension, I'm going to say it goes with them through the planar dimensions.
Yeah,
And vaporizes them upon entering. Well, no, not vaporizes, but upon entering the astral dimension, it'll eventually just, well, turn into jerky, essentially.
Okay, so there's in the astral plane. There's going to be Meat Mountain. Got it. Let's go to Meat Mountain.
So, Barnacle, you were asking me where I would need to go, I think?
Yes, it seems if we're to not let you be killed, we seem to need to ignore Bird Boy and not keep low profile.
Well, maybe not. So, first things first, I think this Whisper and her organization are very secretive, obviously. And
You don't say.
and so there is a great deal of the mission that we would have to undertake that I think we would be able to and even required to keep a very, very low profile. So it might be aligning with our goals. That said, I do get the impression that I am given a certain bit of leeway as to how long it takes to obtain the next piece of the crown that she told me about. She told me that it was contained within Dunmorok, which coincidentally I wanted to visit at some point because I had run into the dwarven bartender and his daughter, if you remember. Maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I don't remember how long it was.
Yes.
And I felt very bad since then. They've lost their mother and had to flee Dunmorok. So I also kind of wanted to check in on them. But the crown fragment is supposed to be leaving Dunmorok, and then I suppose we are supposed to perform some sort of heist.
Oh dear.
Is she just suspecting you, or does she know about all of us and who you're traveling with?
I did not ask, and she did not ask either. So I don't know, and frankly, I don't think it matters.
So, I guess the question is, do we return to Galeran, or do we change course and head south to Dunmorok?
I think this is not actually our boat, correct?
Let's go back to Galeran. I have some armor waiting back there.
I would suggest we have time, but, well, that's just a guess.
Well, actually, that you're probably right. I completely forgot. We have no supplies. We'd probably starve to death before we got to Dunmorok.
Oh, we have that thing.
I don't plan on eating that. I don't think we should.
That's all yours.
I'm with Barnacle on that.
It looks perfectly edible.
Dump it over the side before it starts up again.
Anyway.
We can have it as evidence when we return back to Galeran.
Yes, that would be a good idea.
Yeah,
we'd have the captain. We
don't have the body. Oh, okay. We do have the body.
The zombie captain, the zombie crewman, and whatever that thing is. That hopefully you don't eat the entire thing.
Oh, excuse me.
Well, yes.
I have a rapier to return.
Yes, all important. What say you that managed to get a couple hours of rest before the crabs attacked? Can you maybe take watch while at least I go get a rest? I don't know if you need one, Alden.
I'm okay. I can take first watch if you need.
Yes, I'm feeling it in my bones. I really need to lie down for a while.
Yeah, just give me 30 or an hour, Alton. I'll be up. Yeah, take a short breather.
You'll hear me screaming if anything happens.
Sounds
Alton,
great.
just as maybe a advice, you can see the coast off to the north there. Just kind of keep it there on the north. Don't get too close, obviously. Keep it centered. We're going to be in the channel's going to be narrowing as we get closer to Galeran. Just come find me when you're about to run into something, eh?
Sounds like a plan.
Perfect. Orani, Evian, Zidane.
I have the bears to keep me company.
And the bears.
I will.
Before you
I'll
go,
be retiring.
Barnacle, before you go, Barnacle, I feel that you might be more useful with this. And she gives him the feather. I feel like maybe you'll have more of the capability to communicate better than I, since I don't have anything. Well, you're more of a friendly man. We'll just say that.
Well, I appreciate it. He kind of takes it and turns it over a couple times, and then takes off his newly acquired tricorn and pops it in.
Oh no!
Puts it back on. Right. I think it looks all right.
Yeah, suits you.
Perfect.
You see an okay hand from behind her, from Elton. Yeah, nice.
Well, off to bed, you. You need to get some sleep.
Very much so. Applesauce, what are you doing in this quarter? Shoot, damn it!
Give me an hour. I'll be right back.
Oh God, what is he doing in there?
Eating a part of the, I don't know, the arm.
Oh my God, that's so gross.
Alton, would you be alright you by yourself, or do you need someone to be up here with you?
I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Oh, it's fine. I'll go downstairs. These things probably aren't as bad. How wet is it down here?
I mean, it's a little damp. Some water had seeped through. I mean, some scorch marks here and there from when Zidane had done his celestial cleaning broom.
Moonbeam.
Yeah, that one. But otherwise, it's not too bad in the back areas there. I mean, the beds are the one that one was left pretty much untouched. The one beneath you, the other end of the ship was the one that had gotten a bit clawed up and had the body that was not only there anymore, but the one that was half torn up.
All right, I'll just take a short rest in here then.
All right, so you guys are all taking a rest. So you're going for a short rest. I mean, you have.
I mean, would a long rest make sense? I mean, because I could definitely get my spell slots back.
I'd like my spell slots back.
You are
too.
far enough away from the shore that you could probably make out a long rest if you slept from now until you got to shore.
That's what Barnacle's doing.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
got a short rest in before we got attacked.
Oh yeah, I have 6 at 37 hit points.
So,
I got a short rest in too, but I would still love to get the rest of my HP and my spell slots back.
Alton's down 4 HP and 1 spell, so if you guys want to take a long, I think I'm good.
Yeah, I'm at half health, so...
I mean, isn't there a thing where you can do it in watches and still get a long rest?
Yes.
Yeah,
We can do that. I'd be down for that.
You need, I believe it's the thing is you need 6 something hours, but over a period of 8 hours, which would be a normal night, as you shift watches.
Yep.
Yeah.
So as long as you get, that's the relative ruling for it. But I mean, you guys are kind of on peaceful waters at the moment, and yeah, if you guys want to take the long rest, like I said, you are far enough away from shore that it will still be about probably just over 8 or 9 hours to actually reach shore. And then Thamor would actually awaken probably earlier. Unless he's planning to just sleep in. Thamor is there. You still there, Noko?
Did you mute your inline, Noko?
Don't know. No, I'm here now.
Yep.
I fell asleep. Only having 3 hours of sleep doesn't really help very much.
Oh. buddy.
Oh,
Oh,
shit,
man.
dude. Pull me.
Don't worry, I'm
I
fine. I just took a small nap.
When you become a
Role
method
play.
actor, that's a
Yeah, I
little
was
bit
gonna
too
say,
far.
he is
A little bit too far in
getting
character.
Well, hold on. If he's method acting, we have to ask. Noko, do you have a helmet on?
Of course.
Yeah, he's got his
just
VR
imagining the
helmet.
VR headset like, as you're.
We only drew 3 dicks on the helmet. It's okay.
Only 3 that he could see. Anyway, okay. So yeah, you all take a long rest, kind of alternating watch and keeping the ship in line.
I was gonna say one thing before we do
Sure.
that, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Actually, Evian's actually gonna knock on this door here that kind of leads to Absent Sauce quarters.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
That door, I believe when I wrote that down, that door has been like it doesn't actually close anymore. It's partially torn, been torn down.
She's being polite. She's knocking on it kind of and just like staring at him from the crack.
Betrothed.
Evian, what are you doing?
I have a question for you. Since you ordered, do you mind if I come in for a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead. Let me just sit up. He sits in the bed.
Yeah,
Put my
sorry.
pants back on.
I know it's a little bit late. Since when we get back to Galeran and you did mention that you had to pick up the armor, do I need to be with you again, or can I be absent this time so that you don't have to go through the awkward phase like before?
Yeah, I think I could say I could picking it up for you. I don't know. You might need to do a little bit extra fitting on your end. To make sure it feels comfortable.
So that way I do have to. Okay. So if we do, I would say, are we picking it up back at you?
We can still avoid Mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sure you want to miss that armor fitting session? I hear they're pretty sweet.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
Call.
D&D.
Oh, you see nothing.
If we do meet with your mother again, can we prepare this time on how to interact with her instead of having me unexpectedly be your fiance?
Yes, we can make sure that we are better prepared for any future.
I don't mind playing the part, but next time fill me in before you just throw me into a bloodbath, if you don't mind.
Hold on. You think you're the only one in that bloodbath?
I had very, very cold daggers. And I'm sure, yes, you had some daggers as well, but I had more on myself than you did.
Well, at least Grandpa doesn't speak, and Grandma is the sweetest person around, and my dad's a hooligan. So I think Mother is the worst of the familial options.
I see. Well, in any case.
Yes, I can. We will not visit Mother next time just to fit the armor. We will get the armor, fit it, and go.
That'd be so much better. Thank you. With that, I wish you a good night.
Good night. That could have gone a lot worse. Sauce mothers himself.
Yep, now you guess what to do.
Right. Anything else anyone wants to do before we kind of transition into
Zidane's gonna hang out in the room they left the zombie captain's body. And half resting, half meditating, making sure it's still dead.
Okay.
During their journey. So just putting him on the far side. on the table.
Anyone else?
I'd probably want to take off just. Oh no, I think I'd be able to find its head, right? The jewel.
I mean, what remains of it?
Yeah.
It did get crushed by a bear trap.
Well, yeah, what remains of it? I'll keep the remains of it. I could use it for later.
I mean,
Go
its
ahead and roll
tentacles
me
are
a-
basically calamari.
Yeah,
If
just
you
give me a
left
quick
any of it
survival check.
unattended while you went down below, I threw it overboard.
But we needed
Well,
it for evidence.
This was me doing it a little bit beforehand, but yeah,
Yes.
like
Give
a
me a survival
nature
check
check.
to see if you can, or yeah, nature or survival to see how much you like managed to correctly get on what remained of its head tentacles.
This can go really well or really poor.
Mm.
8.
Well, you got something. It's squishy and it still has a tentacle.
Good enough.
It only has one tentacle.
You know, one's all you need.
Mm.
Oh lord, why did I put that
Yikes.
That's your
Yikes.
mind. That's your mind.
Yikes.
Woof.
Dale.
Nobles are into some really weird shit these days. Anyway.
Mother, I have a present for you.
Okay.
This is a secret weapon we're using for later.
It's a trophy. Okay.
Real quick, what's the like? Is the sky clear right now? Like we're out of the fog, but like are the
Yes.
stars visible?
Yes.
They are.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually
Yeah,
a very clear night, as though all the clouds that were in the vicinity have gotten pulled towards the location of the Deadman's Isle.
Okay. Yeah. Then I'm going to be staying up on the upper deck for the duration of the long rest. I'm like alternating between just like meditating under the stars and grabbing wings here and there.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so you kind of alternate between resting and, like I said, it's calm seas here on out. Morani, as you kind of meditate under the stars as well, drifting, kind of like watching the stars and in that trance-like state, for a minute you just are staring at the stars, and then next, the form of the being that inhabits you as well is sitting next to you. Not visible to others, but more of a perception of your mind of projecting him next to you. Sitting next to you. And it's kind of very... Huh?
Like, how does it look to me? Like...
So it actually looks very common this time around. It looks like it's just a very simple dress. It doesn't look very like any distinct gender. Kind of like almost like has like a very androgynous kind of look to it.
Okay.
Wearing simple garb and just sitting there, cross-legged, as it kind of looks at the stars alongside you. Astral plane. It brings back. That was where I was from.
That is where you need to return.
Oh no. I was of seam in the astral plane. A notion of thought? Or denizen? Was something there. I don't know if my place is there anymore. Perhaps it isn't. Perhaps I have nothing to go back to. It does bring comfort. Knowing. At least just know.
If you hadn't found me, what would you be doing right now?
lost a nightmare. Many like me fell into madness, such as perhaps when you first met the right term for it. Being of dreams taken away, ripped apart from the world it's part of. Be maddening for any sane creature, I think. Then again, I don't think like you, most of.
How do they think?
Hmm?
How do they think if not like me?
And it kind of pauses, trying to think, and it just looks over at you and puts its hand against your forehead. And for a brief moment, you just see countless stars. You see like an aurora traversing between the stars. And you just feel an inner peace, and almost an inner joy of just serenity and almost a dreamlike state before being pulled back and you're sitting on the swaying of the boat. We are an eternal dream. We seek and see everything you see. We perceive it through the realms of wonder. I've been away for so long. I'm starting to get. Perhaps there is no home. Perhaps I will make a new one.
I can see why it would be so difficult to be ripped from that sort of existence. Do you think that you would ever be content being away from it?
First, I was not. I have witnessed the splendors of the material plane through your eye. And not the same. Calmed, please. Perhaps there is a new home to the awakened. Only time will tell.
Indeed it will.
For our time now, I enjoy looking at the stars. And it kind of just fades a bit back as you just consciously just feel him looking through your eyes up at the stars with you.
Okay. I've never been able to view them under such such an uninterrupted sky. I've only ever seen them from beyond the canopy of the trees. It's quite beautiful.
It doesn't seem to say anything, but you just feel that same kind of acknowledging presence.
And I'll just sort of nod to myself silently and just lean back a little bit and continue to gaze up at the stars, and that's just how I remain.
Barnacle, as your dreams are swirled with a bit of tumultuous thoughts and visions. As you can't seem to grasp hold of any one thought or dream. You just see visions, memories, just different. The events at sea seem to almost swirl about you in your own mind. In the center of it all is the glowing, ever-present form of the moon, cycling between each phase. In a very gentle voice, seems to call out to you, or seems to just, it seems to console you in your head, console you in your mind in this dreamlike state. Can guide you, help you. Mine is not a dominion you share. With my light, you can take control of the forces that threaten you. You are a child of the sea. And whatever the consequences be, to face them these days. I offer you my guidance. Your destiny is one you make of your own destiny. This depths churning. And you see the cycles almost seem to get faster as the water swirls about the moon. And you just fall to a very dreamless slumber. It is... Okay, and as you two kind of have your experiences, the boat drifts slowly on to Galeran. And as you take your watches through the night, the air and night sky around you, you each find perhaps your comforts amidst the night sky, in the peace and rocking of the waves. No other boats, not even a cloud in the sky seems to block the stillness and beauty that this night brings. And as the dawn starts to finally break along the horizon, removing the stars and replacing them with the warm yellow or orange to yellow pink lights, as the horizon grows larger and larger with Galeran's shores well within view, your day starts anew. And as you pull into the docks, or well, is there anything you want to do, I guess, because you all have had your full rest, and you are now pulling into about, 5, maybe 10 minutes out from Galeran shores and the docks that you had once left.
Is the Joel still here?
Is the what still here? Oh, no, I'll toss it overboard.
I've immediately expressed disappointment.
Please delete it from the board. Game.
It no longer exists.
Hey, Alton.
I took first watch, so I'm not here.
we'll say Barnacle has come up. He replaced Alton.
Okay.
Eventually, so Barnacle's at the wheel.
Hey, Barnacle.
Holy crap! Why is there a bunch of things?
Whoa!
What? Wow!
Whoa!
That's a lot of text that is not all supposed to be there.
You probably have it linked to something in. You can
Moving
link.
on.
Yeah, you can link things to it in your.
Anyways, my tiny thing is just, can I be told if my or my wolf spirit steed is still. If we reconnect in that 1 mile.
Yeah. As you kind of reach out with your fine steed, and a telepathic voice reaches back in your head. Master? Master! Oh, we've been waiting for you, Master.
Yeah, I apologize for that. We're coming back on the ship that took us away.
That is good. We missed Master, but it's okay. We stood good guard here. We are good. We are good steed. We are a good companion.
Right. Not the best way to start off our partnership, but we do what we can. Hopefully I'll be able to see you soon.
Of course. We wait on the dock. We are the best companion.
Oh, no.
Is your companion a Geth? Because it keeps calling itself we.
It's puppy Geth. It's the best Geth.
Puppy
Oh,
Geth.
yes.
Be careful.
Well, I'm sure.
Someone
Absent
draw that. I
Thoughts-
want to see puppy guess now.
I'm sure there's art for it already.
It's a Wyme. It's one of those little dog thing. Yeah.
ME2?
Yeah.
Oh, the dog robots? Yeah.
The Fenris
yeah.
ones.
Fenris. That's it.
Yep.
Yep.
God, might be a bulldog.
Your steed is a
dear.
Fenris mech.
Oh, no. I was looking for
Anyway.
Ymir. I got a Fenris instead. No.
Great, could be a Loki. Those things are useless.
That's true.
Anyways, Absent Thoughts will see the complete absence of the giant lobster and ask Barnacle where the lobster went. Or did he see the lobster?
No, it was gone when I came up from my watch. Morani!
And I'm still just, kind of like, just gazing out into the distance, just kind of like in my own head. And I just kind of, I hear Barnacle call my name and I just kind of like, jerk my head over in his direction. Sorry, what?
What happened to the monster crab?
What did happen to the monster crab?
Alton chucked it overboard, but I don't.
thought so. Okay. Yeah.
I think you would have seen it because you would have been technically you're trancing on board, so you probably were around. It's not
You
necessarily.
probably saw me do it. Yeah.
So it's it's something I would have noticed.
Yeah.
Okay. But,
It's not like you could have really done that stealthily, and you were on deck. So
right.
No, he would have walked by and like casually kicked it with his foot and just went off the side of the boat.
Casually kick something that's like twice your size with their foot.
I mean,
Oh,
It's
minus
the size
the
of
bear
a-
crab.
your incredulity is noted, sir. I will draw you a picture later. Let's move on.
I thought it was the size of a small car.
Yes, your incredulity is noted. Please, let's move on.
We should have kept it. We would have been good evidence. Now we just have slime, I guess.
I thought you cut some pieces off of it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they might say, "Oh, it's just a regular old crab, not a murder crab." I mean, we
Yeah.
saw the other corpses, so that should be.
Sure.
I guess where are we putting? I'm just gonna go to the top one. Zidane comes from the below decks and is stretching, and he says, "Well, the zombie captain didn't come back to the crab thing. Oh well.
Yep, it's gone. Alton pushed it over.
How far away are we from land? Well, actually, we're pretty close because my
yeah, you're just under a mile out. Like
Well,
half
they
mile, I would
didn't-
say.
They
from
seem
the-
to have not harmed my companion that I had found before we left abruptly. We've been waiting patiently this whole time on the docks. I feel bad. Is it normal to feel bad like this?
I mean, yes, but don't go down on yourself so hard. I mean, you didn't really have too much control over the whole situation. You know?
I suppose. Zidane is still sad.
I'm sure once your friend comes back, you'll be much happier. You'll be so overjoyed, you'll forget the entire experience.
You see Barnacle kind of looking around, seeing as we're getting close, and he stomps the deck a couple times real hard and starts calling out, "All hands on deck! We're coming up on port! All hands on deck!"
Wait, how are we supposed to steer this thing if we don't... Did you say we don't have a rudder?
Of course we have a rudder.
Does it work?
Yes. It was a joke. Well, it wasn't a joke, it was a lie. But anyway. Get to your stations, grab a line. Do something, I don't know what you're good at.
You know, I probably could just fly myself off the boat. Peace, bitches. See you later.
I think that's only necessary if one of us decide to throw you overboard. But,
the way he's going, it might be multiple. But
I'll pull on a line or something. At least it looks somewhat helpful. Nothing wrong here.
Okay. So as you kind of as you glide the ship, albeit a bit, unsteadily at first, but you gently kind of start bringing it to a shore. And you'll notice that there's a throng of people starting to kind of gather back around the dock as they see the ship returning. Definitely cause a bit of an uproar when the ship suddenly just vanished. And along the dock, you see the same retinue of city guards and royal guards starting to kind of pile up around again. Again, the notable figure of Richard directing the crowd. As you kind of angle the ship and pull up to the dock where you first vanished, creaking a bit and bouncing a little bit into the dock a little bit harder than maybe you would like. They throw lines to keep the ship there, as well as extend a walking plank. There's a word for it.
Gangplank?
No, it's not the gangplank, is it? Gangplank's the thing off the side. Isn't there a word for the plank that they raise from the... Whatever it is. They raise the...
It's called a gangway.
Gangway. There it is. Okay. Yeah, they raise a gangway for you to come down. And yes, your companion is sitting there on the dock, sitting, tail wagging. Looking very stoic and yet very happy.
I do believe I picked out a name, and it was a her.
Was it? I looked for it, and I don't have it in my notes, so I may not have jotted it down. So if you want to send that to me, then I will definitely have that.
Yeah, I'll try looking for it real quick.
I remember the token, but I don't remember the details.
It was definitely a her.
Okay, then a her. She is waiting, tail wagging. That doesn't change your happiness.
Yay.
Welcome home, crew. Everything's all shipshape. Boy, we welcome back to Galeran, I say. And Barnacle kind of lashes the wheel down and rig the sails.
And you see the city guard and the royal guard are kind of frantically going about trying to secure the ship. Richard and name was the other guy. Richard and Bolton are kind of amongst the crowd again, trying to get people to stay away. Bolton, of course, making a gigantic, fuss of everything. Back to work! How dare you come out here? This is a matter of royal authority. Be about your way. As he's shooing people around. And so they get the dock tether or the boat tethered to the dock and extend the gangway for you.
That was an awesome accent, by the way. I love that one.
You see Barnacle's using prestidigitation to basically make tiny little firework sparks as he's walking by. They're just kind of popping out of the end of his staff.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you guys come off the boat, or are you guys just chilling on the boat?
Alton oversleeps, so unless someone goes and gets up, well,
Bear trap alarm
As he's saying.
Just sets the bear trap on your chest.
Oh gosh.
Oh no.
Watches him for a second before slapping him across his face.
ah!
Ooh.
What is wrong with you?
Why is Thamor rolling a d6?
Be...
So many helmets he's wearing today.
The helmet thickness.
So I found the name.
To answer your question, Alton, as soon as we have arrived and everyone's coming off the boat.
Is this how you wake people that you travel with normally?
You were a heavy sleeper. I was poking and prodding you, but you weren't waking, so this was the best solution.
Insight check.
Okay, touche.
Yeah, roll the insight versus the deception, I guess.
I suppose we'll just put.
Oh my god.
That's right.
Yeah, you are aware that you were not necessarily deep asleep. You were kind of lightly asleep. You know she didn't really poke her. You're fairly certain she didn't poke or prod you. She just slapped you awake.
Evian, you know, it occurs to me that if you actually had tried to poke or prod me, I might have woken up.
Yeah. Okay, so
Good morning to you.
Good job, darling. Good job.
Thamor, are you coming?
I'll be right over.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
He's technically standing
What are
on
you
the gangway.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm on the right deck.
He is on the right deck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he technically is on the right rendition of the deck since the one above is, it's the weird split thing, but...
Barnacle's leading the way down the gangway.
Okay, I guess we're all going in the middle. We're going on the middle.
I guess to make things a little bit easier, we'll just do...
No,
There's the ground.
Hey.
Ta-da!
Oh no, the
Ground.
zombie man is back. Oh,
yeah,
speaking
we need
of
to deal with that.
there's two bodies. There's the zombie body, and there's the captain body. Who wants to help Zidane carrying the bodies?
I will help Zidane carrying the bodies because this is pretty important to tell the port authorities.
Now, Absinthoth, remember, don't eat these ones. These are zombies.
May I make a perception roll to see if I see the soldier whose rapier I have?
Oh, heralds? Yeah.
I'm not a cannibal, Zidane. I know your people kind of are, but humans aren't.
Excuse me?
Hey.
Aren't you lizard people? Like
He's amongst the guards in the crowd, and you notice that he's just currently got a pike for the time being.
Uh-huh.
He kind of was given not improvised weapon, given a temporary weapon while you have his weapon.
I don't want to step on this other conversation that's happening. Sorry.
I mean, it pretty much is over. Just saying.
No, it is not.
It's not? Okay.
Excuse me?
Yes, I've heard rumors of your people tend to be a little more sentient eating.
What gives you the right to characterize my race as those that eat others?
Like I said, it's a rumor right here.
Well, obviously it isn't true because my people live in cities just as much as you do. There just aren't as many of us.
Azov raises a little bit of an eyebrow. Just drop it. We'll carry the bodies. I'm not going to eat the body.
Looks like I have to refine what's considered a joke. And you need a little bit more. Oh, what's the word? Zidane just clenches his teeth, and he was about to say something very, very. He's gonna cut himself off there and hoists the dead pirate captain's body over his shoulder.
Okay. So you
Barnacle's.
go for
I was
it.
saying, Barnacle literally walks right up to Bolton. Is he like looking at us as we come down, or is he kind of yelling at the crowds?
He was laying at the crowd, but as you guys descend the gangplank, he does turn to watch you guys come down.
Yep. Barnacle walks up with as much of a seaman swagger as possible. The captain's cap set at a jaunty angle.
Make him roll. Make him roll so that if he rolls a 1, he falls down.
I'm not gonna do that.
Come on, just do it.
I mean, you can give me a performance check if you want to give me like a great like.
I will
Stride for it.
give a performance check.
But I mean, the fail point, unless you
Yeah,
roll
sure,
that
evil.
1.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you put on like you tilt that cap, and despite the age, you just saunter down, giving the best like captain like this air of grace and yet sea dog worthiness about you.
Captain
right.
Jack Sparrow.
I wasn't gonna
But-
say it.
But you have heard of me.
He strides right up to Bolton, and basically, as he sets his staff down, as it hits the ground, a shower of like a little bit crackling and sparks pop out of the top, and he gives a very deep bow, and then looks up and says, "General Bolton, we've returned, and the ship is safe."
Rest of you roll perception checks.
Oh no. Oh, can I have my vine doggy?
Can I count the one I just made or no?
No, this is for something else.
Copy.
This is for the assassin who's about to kill.
It's okay. It was better.
Oh, jeez.
Perception.
Wow.
I have a +0.
Mm.
Okay.
Well,
Alton,
body on
Evian, you notice a very familiar. Oh, Alton actually know the face? No, he wasn't there for that, was he? Alton, unfortunately, yeah, I didn't think about this. Evian, you notice a very familiar face in the crowd moving towards, kind of on the side. You notice a Restamore.
Uh-oh.
And as Barnacle, as you're bowing to Bolton, he just gives the wave of his hand, and the royal guards circle you. Arrest him!
What? Now, see here, I am the captain of this fine vessel. I demand reason for this.
And the guards kind of surround you with weapons drawn, and Arestamore and Leopold emerge from the crowd. And Leopold, "Oh, you got him, Uncle! I didn't think he'd come back!" And Arestamore has this just devilish look from the beneath, like the kind of the folds of his cowl. And Bolton turns to the crowd. "This man here is charged with destruction of a noble's property, as well as a direct insult to nobility itself and the king."
I would like to subtle cast suggestion at him.
oh no. Alton and Thaymore.
Thaymore is just eating. All right, roll me. How does Selka? Let me see.
So let me.
What's it called? Subtle cast is what you said.
Yeah,
Subtle spell.
I'm about to post it.
Cast spell using any somatic or verbal, and outside of combat without even telling. Huh. Yeah, I guess that technically works. Interesting. Oh, okay. Suggestion.
Yeah, so I will post suggestion here.
Yo.
There's a lot of words in it, yes.
It's a wisdom saving throw against your spell
DC
save, right?
of 16, yes.
The wisest fellow, but not exactly dumb. Okay. Yeah, he fails.
And Barnacle just stands there and kind of just under his breath, and he just says, "We did this in service to the crown. We should at least be welcomed as heroes."
Is the suggested... What activity are you trying to actually suggest in that?
That we be received as heroes, not as being arrested. Essentially, that was the suggested thing, is we should be received as heroes.
Oh no.
So an alternative suggestion, if that doesn't work out, would be let's have a delayed court trial for it. Then we can have a court drama.
I
Rena.
think we lost Rena, yeah.
No, no.
I found the token and the name for the...
Shinari, okay. Sorry, I'm trying to parse out how that would be... How that plays into... Because it doesn't really...
Sorry, guys.
All good.
Okay.
You kind of mutter these words. Bolton at first kind of like gives you like the most just a quizzical look before the spell takes hold. And he goes, "But of course we mustn't forget that they did in fact serve our king in disrupting the foul manner of this boat. So bring the best of shackles, golden laden, for the trial ahead. In fact," and he turns and he pulls out, "you can use my personal shackles." And you see that they got like studded with emeralds and gems.
Oh no!
Whoa! He's got like fuzzy handcuffs and shit on him. That's
And
pretty
Lightfoot
kinky.
is very confused at all this, and Aristamore is also confused. And then he just immediately kind of puts two and two together and gives you a glare. But
He's got no way of knowing I cast anything.
No, he doesn't. He's just suspecting.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
Because
fine.
the sudden change in character after you said something, and he knows you did, like, he can't prove you cast it, but he's gonna guess. He's a much...
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Arcana?
No, it's fine.
Well, no, yeah, it was an Arcana roll, but like he's just kind of he's kind of wondering why the sudden change of character from Bolton.
You see
but,
Barnacle kind of roll his eyes and kind of holds out his wrists. One of them still holding his staff. He's like, "I suppose that's how you receive your heroes in this city."
And Aristamore walks up as well and goes, "Heroes. Oh, my dear people, I am but a mere envoy, but even I can see that this is no hero. You have all been deceived by this man. What should I say?"
Who are you again?
And he reaches over and yanks your pendant off.
Whose pendant?
Barnacle. He rips it off your neck. Or should I say...
Uh-oh.
Bring it down. Or should I say... Andoros. And as he pulls this trinket away from Barnacle, you see his form almost melt and shimmer before your eyes. And instead of the old man holding a staff, you see a blue-skinned tiefling.
Oh shit!
What?
Oh shit!
What?
This explains a few things.
This creature here
My head!
has been enthralled
by the evil forces across the sea that I have scried and forewarned to all of you. You can see from just even the color of his skin, he is no ordinary tiefling that even here we still must have caution for. He has had dealings with an even darker devil.
You see Andoros, who's kind of like biting his lip a little bit. And he just kind of gives a smile. He's like, well, yeah. Hello?
What the hell?
And I think that is going to be where I want to end it, because it's a fucking perfect ending to sum up
My
just the amount of
head!
shit I've given you guys.
My head blew off. Ow!
Yeah, that's where we're gonna end it. We're gonna end it there
This is a
and
really good
proceed
place to
into
eat
a
bean.
into the courts, the noble's court.
Thamar was gonna go nuclear with another tactical bean.
Tactical bean.
Tactical bean. And oh yeah, I also have to play out once Thamor's more awake. The fact that he thinks everyone should be revering him as a god when they interact with him. So this ought to be fun.
Yes. And he's currently eating a bean.
Oh shit.
Look into the chat, you can see it.
But yeah. Sorry
That's
to
pretty.